So I'm a gastroenterologist, and I practice and live in the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. I'm a big sports fan.
He became the Rhodes Scholar representative as well as the homecoming king at Ohio State.
You know, what we're trying to do is replicate what you would have, for example, in my office. You know, we want to be real and answer questions that are tough sometimes. Take a topic and really understand it and develop a solution. At the end, we'll help the patient that's in front of us and also help the patients at home as well as in the studio audience. That's the essence of what we want to do.
Hello and thank you. Thank you for the warm welcome. Today we're talking about the importance of nutrition. We're discussing food as medicine. Now, poor nutrition and lack of physical activity is present all throughout America. Now, in addition, nearly 15% of Americans do not have enough food to meet their needs. Some don't have the right nutrients, even if they have the resources. The human diet consists of carbohydrates or sugars, proteins, and fats. Now, minerals and vitamins play an important role as well, and water is an essential nutrient. With inadequate amounts of a nutrient, you can have a deficiency, while too much of a nutrient can cause toxicity. Both can harm the individual. Having a poor diet can have a direct impact on health, causing obesity, heart disease, and osteoporosis. So why is the American diet so high in fat, calories, sugar, and low in nutrients such as fiber, vitamins, and minerals? This is in the face of many messages stressing the importance of healthy eating. It seems as if, as a nation, we don't seem to plan our meals and have poor meal habits. Also, we don't seem to have food preparation skills and a disinterest in cooking. Today on Ask Dr. Nandi, we'll meet Pete Thomas, Season 2 at-home winner of the show Biggest Loser, and Christy Moore and Kelly Riso from Shakeology. They will show us how to better achieve better health with fun and helpful nutritional tips. Let's watch.
My emotional load was quite low. I suffered from severe depression. I couldn't fit into any of my clothes, and then I just felt trapped at home with 3 very small children.
My mother struggled with mental illness. We were on the go, traveling from one city to another to another. I lived in 13 different cities by the time I was 13 years old. There were times of homelessness, times where I did not have food available. And that carried over, those issues carried over into adulthood. When there was food available, I would eat 2 or 3 times the amount because I wouldn't know when my next meal was coming. And then as an adult, I did the same thing. So it really was about modifying that behavior to become successful, and that's what I've done.
What Shakeology did was I started seeing some weight come off, and when you get that much nutrition going through your body, your chemistry starts changing, you start feeling better, and then you want to start, so I took baby steps, and then you want to start taking care of yourself. And that's what I did, and now I feel like I'm so much better of a mom because I want to do things with them. I don't want to just lay in bed.
We come back, we'll meet them. Please don't go away.
I'm going to figure out how I'm going to eat in each and every situation. I'm going to prepare meals, and when I go somewhere, I'm going to make sure that the meals that I buy, they fit within my goals, all right? And so that's more than just a short-term goal. It's about the long term, and that is really key.
You're back with us, and please welcome Pete Thomas. Pete, thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here, Doc.
Yeah, and you're the Season 2 winner of the at-home Biggest Loser contest, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Congratulations. Good job.
Thank you.
Nice job. That is a big accomplishment.
Thank you.
And there's for those of you who haven't seen, there's a picture of Pete before he underwent his weight loss. If you can get a little picture of that from the camera. And then here he is now. Awesome job.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a great journey. Thank you very much.
What was your secret? Tell me. It's not easy to do this.
It's not. And so the secret while I was there on the show was, of course, having a great team around me. You know, anytime you set a goal, and the harder the goal, the more you need motivation. Nothing provides motivation like having a great group of people around you. So when I was there on the show, I had people that were in it with me that wanted to lose the weight as well. That was a great motivator. Now, after the show was over, you know, I set a new goal. My goal was I want to keep the weight off when the cameras were off. And that required me to re-educate myself on nutrition and exercise and the psychology of change. I had a goal. I wanted to keep the weight off for a minimum of 5 years and 7 and 15. And so that required me to really think differently about my approach to nutrition, my approach to eating, and all of that put together. So I had to change my way of thinking.
And it's key, you know, you said something very, very, very important. Whether it's dieting or losing weight or exercising or stopping smoking, whatever it is, when you've got your coach with you and the TV cameras are rolling or you know, you're at home getting, you know, advice, it's easy. It's when that all ends.
Absolutely.
And so what's the key? You know, we have people who are, for example, have alcohol abuse and they have horrible problems. They come to the hospital and they say, you know, I'm never going to drink. Of course it's easy. Look how terrible I feel. And you talk to them 2 months later and it's so much more difficult. So what's the secret? How do you keep it going?
Well, what I believe is, I mentioned a little bit of the teamwork in there, but I really think the key is the re-education. So you have to really change the way that you think. How do you do that? You have to think differently. For instance, when it came to the way that I thought about food, I had to look at food as fuel. I had to learn that. Food is simply fuel. If I overfuel my body, then I'm going to pack on extra pounds. My body is going to store all that extra fuel, as you saw in my before picture. And
so it's well said.
And so I needed to learn that food is fuel, and then from there, how much fuel does my body require, and then how much fuel is in food. Once I learned those basic things, then I was on my way. Now, one other thing in there I learned that your legs cannot outrun your mouth. All right, so
one more time, say that again.
My legs could not outrun my mouth. So
you know, we have to tell our stage manager that. That's a whole different show.
That's right.
But go ahead, tell us more.
Well, what I learned was I could not make up for the sins I committed at the dinner table by going to the gym and putting in hours and hours. I just didn't have that type of time. And so I had to look at food as fuel, learn about, as I mentioned, how much fuel I require, how much fuel is in the food that I eat. And from there, I had to focus on what I call some forever habits. I had to develop some forever fundamentals, some habits that really caused me to change my focus from short-term weight loss to long-term weight maintenance, because they're two separate things. They really are.
And one is a short-term goal. The other one's a lifestyle change. I love that. You know, said what did you say? Your legs cannot outrun your mouth. And just like other disease states or other goals that you have, you can't do it in just one manner. You can't just say, I'm not going to eat anything and not exercise, or you can't just say, I'm going to eat everything inside and exercise. It's got to be a combination, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It absolutely has to be the both. And so that's why I teach that there are really three things that you have to be successful at. Number one is to master your mind. Number two is to manage your mouth. And number three, you have to multiply your muscles. You need some type of exercise in there, of course, but you have to do all three if you're going to make that lifestyle change. What I've noticed is you often hear the word lifestyle change, but nobody ever explains what exactly you need to do. And so what I try to do, even in the book, Lose It Fast, Lose It Forever, I try to teach how to do those three things. But here's the key. You're not just going to follow my plan. You have to have your own plan, you know, that works for you in any environment, in any situation. What is the mom who's got 3 kids that she's got to get ready and get off to school? What does she do? Because then she's got to go to work. You know, what does she do for nutrition and exercise?
Individualized.
Exactly. It has to be an individualized, what I call a personalized meal plan, personalized exercise plan. And the focus of the plan has to be forever. It just can't be for some event.
That's exactly right. Master your mind.
Yep.
Manage your mouth and multiply your muscles. So basically have the mindset that this is important to you. Manage your mouth. So whatever mindset you have, your mouth and your hands going to your mouth have to control. And multiply your muscles, exercise and stick to it. Now, we don't have a lot of time, but maybe a minute or so. What advice do you have for America? You've given a lot of it. What takeaways can we get from you? I mean, it's really tremendous what you've done.
You know, the interesting thing is, having lost all the weight, I have this goal, or this saying about goals. I say weight loss is a dumb goal. Now think about that. When you set a goal to lose weight, how many of us in here have lost weight? Many of us, we've lost weight, and then you gain it back. So why set that same dumb goal over and over and over again? What I like to say is, what we should do is we should have a goal of, I want to achieve a healthy weight and maintain it for the rest of my life. And that does two things. One, it refocuses you to really think about the habits that you have, those daily habits. And for instance, one of the things that I believe in is having a personalized forever meal plan. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to eat in each and every situation. I'm going to prepare meals, and when I go somewhere, I'm going to make sure that the meals that I buy, they fit within my goals, all right? And so that's more than just a short-term goal. It's about the long term, and that is really key. And we've got some other tips. You can find out about them at PeteThomas.com.
But I can listen to you forever. You did. Doesn't he do a good job, you guys? Wow. Unbelievable. I mean, I can see why you're successful. So key points, you know, whatever it is, whatever your goals are, whether it's weight loss or other things, you know, put your mind to it, and you have to be consistent and persistent. And you have a website. Can you tell us real quick?
Yep, PeteThomas.com.
Perfect. And you can find out about your book and everything else.
Yes, you sure can find out.
Thank you for the time. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Doc. God bless you.
God bless you. When we come back, we'll have Christy and Kelly. Please don't go away.